Alright, I think we're good to go. Good evening, folks. Happy New Year. Welcome to another edition of Mansfield Town News and Views, the first one of 2022. And yeah, like I say, it's hope everyone's had a great Christmas and a New Year. And let's hope we can just carry on where we left off, really, in terms of the form. Let's hope we can keep on this great run of form that we're in at the minute. Plenty to talk about tonight. Obviously, I'm going to be talking about the Hartlepool game because I didn't get to review that because, I didn't do my podcast for a couple of weeks. So we're going to be talking about that. We're going to be previewing Middlesbrough this weekend in the FA Cup. And we're going to be talking about the transfer window as well. Obviously, there's been a lot of activity going off in the league as well as at Mansfield as well. So as always, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. So I want to first start by talking about the Hartlepool game. What's more to say? What a comeback. From 2-0 down to win it 3-2. It's not very often we've done that, especially in the past few seasons. At 2-0 down in the past, we just lay down and die. But this team, it's amazing the togetherness they've had. From any team to come back from that scoreline to go and win 3-2 is testament to that. Even when we was 2-0 down against Hartlepool, I still thought we was a better team. I thought we created the most chances, and I didn't think we deserved to be 2-0 down. It's just a case of Hartlepool. They had two chances and they just took their chances. But overall, I thought we was a better team in the game anyway. And again, we deserved the 3 points. And again, it just shows you this team. They've even when we go to goal down, there's that never say die attitude, and the players just kept on going. And once again, it just shows you this team just keeps on going until the final whistle. And credit to the players for doing that. Because no matter who's out there on the pitch, they give it their all, and that's all you can ask for as supporters. But yeah, let us know your thoughts on the Hartlepool game as well. What did you make of the game? Who impressed you in that match? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. But yeah, like I say, guys, Happy New Year to you all, and hope everybody's had a great Christmas. I certainly did. The next morning after the New Year, I didn't know. But yeah, it was great. And again, let's just hope we can have a great year, and let's hope it sees the Stags progress further up the league. But yeah, there's so many positives from that game against Hartlepool. A Boxing Day fixture, a great attendance, and credit to the Hartlepool fans as well. Over 1,000 of them travelled to Mansfield in the numbers, and again, it was a bit of a scare at the end with the offside, but having had a look back at it, it wasn't offside, and it was a good decision by the linesman. And luckily for us, we held out for the 3 points, and again, it's a great way to finish 2021. But yeah, like I say, guys, let us know your thoughts on the Hartlepool game and what you made of that match overall, and yeah, what's your thoughts on that, guys? Let us know in the comments below. And obviously, after the Hartlepool game, there's been a lot of postponement since then, from the Harrogate game as well as the Rochdale games. But I think it was to be expected, to be honest, purely because after the game against Hartlepool, Nigel did say after the match in his interview that there'd been a lot of cases in the camp of COVID. So, it wasn't too much of a surprise to see the game being called off against Harrogate and Rochdale, in my opinion. I don't think a lot of people were surprised by that at all. Especially when you've only got 14 players to pick from. It's not exactly ideal, so I don't think it was a surprise to anybody that the games have been postponed due to COVID. So yeah, that's been frustrating because obviously, when you're in a good run of form, you don't want any games to be postponed, but obviously the way the world is at the minute with COVID and just in life in general, obviously you can't be taking any chances and stuff. So it is what it is, but hopefully the players and the staff will won't let that get in the way too much, and we can just carry on from where we left off, if anything. Evening, John. Thanks for tuning into the podcast, mate. Appreciate the support, and same to everyone else watching the podcast. As always, just supporting the page, watching myself, and yeah, appreciate it. So yeah, like I say, I've got a lot to talk about tonight. Obviously, we're going to briefly talk about the Hartlepool game, because I didn't really get a chance to talk about that. Talking about the Middlesbrough game this weekend in the FA Cup, and going to be talking about some transfer activity as well. So, as always, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comments section below on everything MTFC. But now, I was just saying earlier on, for those of you that's just joining the podcast now, is even at 2-0 down against Hartlepool, I still thought we was a better team. We just didn't take our chances. And, Hartlepool, they had 2 chances and 2 goals. And, you kind of felt as though it was going to be one of them games, really, because obviously in the past, when we've gone 2-0 down, it's been very rare that we've come back from it, and like I say, we came out in the second half, and again, the players just kept on going, and again, we deserved the 3 points overall. I thought overall against Hartlepool, we was a better side. I thought we played better than them. I thought we worked our socks off, and even though we did let 2 goals in, I thought after them goals we was solid, to be fair, and again, we did deserve the 3 points overall. But yeah, let us know your thoughts on the Hartlepool game as well. What players impressed you, or what really impressed you about that game. But 2-0 down to win it 3-2. I don't know what else you can say other than it was just a fantastic comeback, to be honest. But yeah, like I say, guys, let us know your thoughts in the comment section below on your thoughts on the Hartlepool game. Right, John. If we'd have gone 2-0 down 2-3 months ago, we'd have got slapped 4 or 5. But seeing the fight in this team now is amazing and shows us that the players actually want to play for the shirt. Yeah, it is, and it's a good point because, like I mentioned earlier and like you've just said there, a couple of months ago, we wouldn't have come back from that. And, I mean, I haven't got the stats in front of me here, but I don't know, I can't remember the last time where we've actually come back from 2 goals down to win 3-2. I can't remember. It's been a while since we've done that in recent seasons. So if anybody can tell me that, it'd be much appreciated because it's been a long time since we've done that. But yeah, it's great. And like you say there, the players want to play for the shirt, and it just shows you when you've got. That's one of the benefits of having a small squad in a way, because you've got that small togetherness with the players. Whereas big squads, you're not always going to have that because you're going to get players that aren't always going to be playing week in and week out, and it's always hard to keep a big squad of players happy. So that is the advantage of having a smaller squad, and it just shows you the togetherness of the players that we've got here. And again, even at 2-0 down, we still was a better team. And again, for those that went to the game or watched the game on iFollow, could tell you that we did deserve it overall, and credit the players. But yeah, just a fantastic comeback. What more can you say? Just phenomenal. So yeah, also before we talk about Middlesbrough as well, of course it's January transfer window as well. There's been a lot of activity going off for clubs across the leagues. The first bit of news as well from our point of view is Mene SA has moved to Walsall on a permanent transfer. I don't think it's so much of a surprise to anybody. He's obviously been on loan there this season, done quite well for them. Not sure why it's not really worked out for us, to be honest. Since Nigel's come at the club, he's not really been given much of a chance. So it's one of them, obviously, when managers come in, they have certain players that they'll have in mind that they want at the club. And obviously, Mene SA didn't fit that criteria. So not much of a surprise about Mene SA, but I want your thoughts on it, though, because a lot of fans really wanted to give Mene SA a chance. Whereas myself, I don't really see him. If we'd have kept him, I don't think he'd have, been playing much really. When you've got, obviously, when you've got Rawson there, O'Toole for the minute, Hewitt back in defence. So I don't really think he'd have played much football anyway for us rolling. And obviously, he's happy at Walsall. So it's no surprise that he's moved on to Warsaw, to be honest. But yeah, we didn't really see much of him, to be fair, so it's hard to really say, if I'm honest with you. But obviously, he's done well at Warsaw, and yeah, we wish him the best of luck. But I think we've done it well to get a fee for him, to be fair. Obviously, we've not long signed him, and we've been able to get a fee for him. So I think it's really good business for the club, to be honest. So yeah, we wish him the best of luck at Warsaw. Let's have a look. Ashley, evening, Mark. Happy New Year, bud. Happy New Year, Ashley, and Happy New Year to everybody as well tuning into the podcast for the first one of 2022. Let's hope it's a better year from our point of view, and let's hope we can climb up this league table and have a good second half to the season. Let's hope we can just carry on from where we left off last year. Ellen, evening. Sell or keep Corey O'Keefe? Good question. And I was coming on to this actually. This is my next question actually. You see, from what Nigel's been saying, it does sound like we will be going. Because obviously we don't play with wing backs, and I don't know. He just doesn't seem to rate Corey, Nigel. But personally speaking, I would like to keep him just because he's been doing so well at Rochdale and is obviously a young, talented player. But I don't know if he'd really fit into Nigel's style of play. But personally speaking, I'd love to see him given a chance. But I don't really see Nigel doing that. I mean, I know he's recording from his loan spell, but if anybody watched the press conference yesterday, Nigel said that he basically recalled him and there's interest from other clubs to sign him on a permanent deal. So it wouldn't really surprise me if Rochdale did sign him on a permanent. But personally speaking, I would like to keep him because I do think he's a good fullback, but I don't think we will. But like I say, let us know your thoughts, guys, on it as well. Would you keep Corey O'Keefe, or do you think we just ought to let him go? But personally speaking, I would like to keep him personally, but I don't think we will, if I'm honest with you, from what Nigel was saying yesterday. But I'd keep him, 100% I'd keep him. But yeah, let us know your thoughts as well, guys, regarding Corey O'Keefe. It's just sod's law, isn't it? Because we sign players, and for whatever reason, they either don't hit it off, but other clubs they go to and they play the best football. It's just we always have bad luck in that respect. But saying that though, similar to Roland Menezes, he's not really been given much of a chance under Nigel at all, Corey O'Keefe. So obviously Nigel doesn't either see anything in him or just doesn't see him as part of the plans. But personally speaking, I'd keep him because Rochdale fans raving about him. He's been doing really well for them, and it'd be nice if we could have him do that here for us. But I'm not really sure if that's going to be the case or not, but I'd like to keep him, but I don't think we will, to be honest with you. I don't think we will. Let's get down to some of your comments, guys. Ashley, let's hope JJ pens a new deal. Yeah, hopefully so, Ashley. That's the one signing that we need to make to try and keep hold of John O'Toole. At the minute, it's just negotiating stages, so it's one of them. It's sod's law, isn't it? We sign a free agent player, and then all of a sudden he does well for us, and other clubs want him. So it's just how it is, though, isn't it, in football, especially for lower league clubs. But he's another one that we want to try and keep hold of because the players of that experience are really hard to find at this level, and he's been performing so well. And I saw a stat yesterday, I think it was from Martin Shaw, and since he's been in the side, we've picked up more points with him in the side than without him in. So that just shows you how important he is for us when he starts the game. So hopefully we can keep hold of him. But again, he's another player that's got other interests from other clubs. So, and that's the only concerning thing, because if he does move on to another club, then we're going to have to go out for another centre-half. Now, hopefully it doesn't come to that and he does re-sign with us, but potentially we could be without a key centre-half, so that would mean we'd have to go out and find someone else. So that's the other thing as well. But speaking of another centre-half, Forrester, he's been returned back to Stoke as well, so he's back. He's another one that's been recalled as well. So we're without Will Forrester as well. So again, with at the minute, we might need to get a couple of defenders in, depending on our O'Toole. But hopefully he does stay, because without him in the side, I do kind of worry about the defence, really. But hopefully he does pen the new deal, like you say, and yeah, we can keep him on. Let's get down some of your comments, guys. Paul, good evening, Paul. Evening, Mark. Happy New Year, dude. Happy New Year to you, mate. I hope Clough with the January transfer window doesn't mess it up. 2 years on the trot. Well, like I've said before, when it comes to the January transfer window, it's always a tough window for any club, regardless of where you are, because it's not like in the summer where you've got plenty of time to try and get signings in. You've only got a month to do it. So, realistically, the only players that you're going to sign are either going to be loan players from higher clubs or potentially buying players from the same league as you, depending on who's available. But yeah, I mean, we don't need to sign a load of players in this transfer window, so I'm not going to expect a lot of players that we're going to sign, because I think the only area, in my opinion, we need to strengthen on is the defence, which hopefully means we'll be keeping John O'Toole on. But other than that, I mean, I don't think we really need to strengthen in any other areas, in my opinion. I think we're okay in most areas of the pitch. And you can see now with the results that we're doing well with the players we've got now. So I don't think we need to add too much to the squad, to be honest. We don't want to unbalance things. But yeah, I'm hoping he does. Whoever he brings in, I'm hoping they can just improve us, whoever they are. But end of the day, Nigel's been around long enough and he knows his squad better than any of us. So, he'll know what areas that we need to strengthen in. So, I trust Clough's judgment. He's doing well with us so far, and I'll let him be the judge of that, really, because it would be a manager, eh? But yeah, hopefully he does bring in players that can improve us going forward. Let's go have a look at more of your comments. Paul, if JJ leaves, we will need a centre half, and I would like to see another striker in. Yeah, like I say, we're spoken about keeping JJ on, and hopefully we do. Hopefully we do. I mean, we took a chance on him to, sign him back in the Football League, and hopefully he can see that as though, we're the club that gave him a lifeline back into playing. Although football doesn't always work like that, but hopefully that will play a big part in it. But yeah, he's the one signing that we do need to nail down and definitely keep him, because other than that, like you say, we'll need a centre half if we don't sign him. But again, who do you bring in though? Just in case we don't re-sign him, this is a big thing, because who knows in football, but hopefully we do. Hopefully we'll sign him. Let's have a look. But yeah, and there's another striker like you mentioned there. Again, if it depends on who's available, doesn't it? I suppose. Like I say, I don't mind who comes in as long as they can come in and improve what we've got. I'm hoping we just don't sign any player as just a backup player or someone just for the sake of it. I just hope we can sign players that are going to improve what we've got. But I don't expect a load of players to come in because I don't think there needs to be. But the main thing is trying to get JJ back on terms of us, and if not that, then we'll have to get another centre half in. But anything can happen until the end of January, so we'll have to see how that one goes. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see how that goes. Evening, Chris. Thanks, mate. Appreciate that. Yeah, really well. Thank you yourself. Hope Happy New Year to you as well, mate. Paul, who would you like to see come in, Mark? To be honest with you, Paul, I actually don't know, because obviously we're open to tie JJ down for a longer contract. But if that falls through and if he moves on, then that's a big question. Who do we bring in? Now, me personally, I'm not quite sure, because ideally you'd want to bring someone in as experienced as what JJ is, but I'm not sure who would go in for, to be honest. So I'm not quite sure personally, but I'd personally try and get somebody in as experienced as what he is, but it depends on who's available, to be honest. But somebody experienced, I'd say, if possible, if we couldn't get JJ back on terms with us. But hopefully we can. But it makes you wonder if we can't get JJ back, if we'll go back in for the Oldham defender, Carl Pellegrini, because obviously we was interested in signing him until Oldham declined the offer. So if it makes you wonder if we'd go back in for him, to be honest. But who knows? Anything can happen until the end of January, like I say. But I'm not sure if we couldn't get JJ back. Hopefully, it was somebody with much experience if possible. But hopefully, we can get JJ tied down. But you never know. You never know. Nathan, evening, Mark. Hope you're well. I missed much. No, not really, mate. No, we've just talked about Hartlepool briefly and talking about the transfer window. If anything, we just spoke about Menayase and O'Keefe, and obviously just talking about JJ and potentially signing another centre half if that falls through. So that's all we've really covered at the minute. But like I say, anything can happen until the end of January. So, we've already seen a couple of players depart and Menayase and that. So, who knows what can happen. That's maybe comments. Chris, just my usual self thanks as always. No, I appreciate it. Thank you as well, Chris, for tuning in, mate. Appreciate that. Paul, offer JJ an 18-month contract. Yeah, I mean, I've seen people say, if we do re-sign him, just get him on till the end of the season. I'm like, let's get him on for longer than that. For his experience, we want him longer than that. I agree. Let's have him on an 18-month contract because, let's be honest, since James Perch has been out for the rest of the season, he's the most experienced centre-half we've got. So, yeah, without a doubt, let's just tie him down long as we can, and hopefully we can get him on a long-term contract because it's okay for signing him until the end of the season, but that gives more clubs time to try and get him in the summer. So hopefully we can, sign him on longer. But that just all depends on obviously Joe himself. But hopefully with Nigel, we'll be able to persuade him to stay for the long term because you just can't buy experience, and that's what we've lacked a lot, in my opinion, in the defence area. And since he's been there, he's been like a rock. So, hopefully we can tie him down because if we do, then he'll be the best signing of the transfer window in January, without a shadow of a doubt. Let's have a look at one of your comments, guys. Paul, if Brayford comes available in the summer, would you sign him? I won't be against it, to be honest with you, Paul, because similar to O'Toole, is experienced. So I wouldn't be against it. I'd welcome it if we did sign him. Brayford, obviously another player Nigel's knows quite well, and yeah, I think if he'd be available and if he didn't demand too much, then yeah, I'd be more than happy if Brayford would drop down to League Two. But it all depends on his contract situation at Burton, as well as just things like that. But yeah, I'd be more than happy if he came next season to us. But it just depends on the contracts and what have you. But yeah, if he was available and he wanted to come, then yeah. But it all depends on JJ as well, because hopefully he'll still be with us next season. But yeah, I wouldn't be against signing him if we could sign him. Chris, hard to find proven goal scorer in January window. Yeah, Chris, who you guys see a lot. I've already know him anyway. He's a Carlisle fan, and they're obviously in a position where they've obviously got to try and get climb up further the table. But yeah, we're from our point of view, we're just trying to keep JJ, our defender, John Joe O'Toole on the minute because he's been a complete rock for us. So he's someone that we want to try and keep down if we can. But like I say, January is a tough window for a lot of clubs, regardless of where you are. But yeah, it's always hard to find a proven goal scorer in January, more so than any time it is. LN, if we can sign JJ on an extended contract, we'll still need probably one or two more centre backs on top of that, loans maybe. Yeah, I agree because, don't get me wrong, I think the defence has improved to what we was earlier in the season, but I don't know. I still think we're still leaking goals, aren't we? You know, we're still not keeping as many clean sheets as what we'd like. So, yeah, potentially another centre half as well if they're available. Like you say, a loan maybe, but it just depends on who's available, really. Like I say, and who would come down to Mansfield. But yeah, I think if anything, we need to focus on bringing players defensively in, because I think the midfield's more than okay. Up front, we're sound. It's just the defensive area that we need to be strengthening on, in my opinion. So, yeah, like I say, try and get JJ down on an extended contract. If not that, then obviously we'll have to go out and look for a centre half. But yeah, like I say, it'll be an interesting one to see how we approach it. But yeah, I agree. We do need to strengthen the defence still a bit more, because even though we're picking up the results, we're still leaking goals. So it would be nice to try and keep a few more clean sheets, really, and hopefully we can do that in the transfer window. Let's have a look. Paul send Steck out on loan. See, it's one of them with Steck. I mean, you see, he's another player that's not going to obviously get played much. He's not played much at all this season, has he? He's only been the third choice keeper, so we wouldn't really need him, to be honest with you. But the only thing is, if obviously the lad from Forest, if he has COVID or if he's out for a few weeks, then we're going to be without a keeper. So that's the only problem, you see, because Owen Mason, he's been out on loan. Well, he's out on loan at the minute. Another player we've loaned out. So I think he's just there for backup Steck, to be honest with you. So I don't really see him going out on loan. I don't expect he'll be here next season, though, Steck. I think he'll be another player that'll be the first out of the door, to be honest. So I don't expect him to go out on loan, Steck, just purely because of just in case of backup, if anything. But yeah, I don't see him going out on loan. But who knows? Who knows? Who knows? He could do. But one thing's for sure, he's not going to get many starts here at all. And like I say, he's another player that I think should go at the end of the season, in my opinion. But yeah. So yeah, just another brief talk about the transfer window. Obviously, we talked about the players that have gone out on loan. The younger players, we've got Owen Mason out on loan, the young goalkeeper from the academy. He's doing quite well there. Kept 2 clean sheets in his 2 starts, I believe. So I think if anything, we'll probably see the younger players that we've got loaned out potentially. I think the lad from James Gale, I think he could do with a loan spell, in my opinion. I think he's another player that's got a bag full of potential, but I do think a loan spell would do him a world of good, in my opinion, for James Gale. He's another player that's got a load of potential, but I don't really see him getting many starts, to be honest. So obviously, get him a loan spell, and some of the other younger players as well. So yeah, like I say, I think it'll just be that, if anything. And obviously we talked about Mene Asa. He's not, again, still a young player, not really been given much of a chance under Graham and Nigel. So it's one of them. Obviously, it's not worked out here for him for whatever reason, and done well at Walsall. So that's not much of a surprise at all. But I think we've done well to get money out of him, to be fair. I think for any club to get money out of a player at all is good business, to be honest with you. And obviously O'Keefe as well. Personally speaking, I'd love to see O'Keefe be given a chance, to be honest, because he's done so well at Rochdale, and it's one of them. It's frustrating how when we loan players out, they can do amazing for other clubs, but they come here and then for whatever reason it just doesn't work out. And I don't know. We've always seemed to have that with players in the past, so it's really frustrating. But yeah, let's hope. But again, I don't think he'll stay here, O'Keefe. I can see him departing from what Nigel was saying yesterday, so I wouldn't expect him to be with us, to be fair. But yeah, let us know your guys on the transfer window, guys. What positions do you think we should strengthen in the transfer window? So let us know your thoughts in the comments below. So what areas do you think we should strengthen on in the transfer window this month? See, I just think defensive, me personally, like I've said before, I just think defensive areas what we need to strengthen on. Try and keep JJ if we can. But even if we do manage to keep him, look for another centre half as well, preferably be experienced. If not, then we'll obviously try and have to get somebody out on loan. Just as long as we can bring somebody in that can improve us, doesn't matter who they are, as long as they can come in and add to what we've got, rather than just be on the bench, just for the numbers. I just hope we can bring some players in that can, just can improve us essentially. That's the biggest thing. But like I say, Nigel, he's got a load of contacts throughout the game, so I've got no doubt he'll obviously find players out there that can do that for us. So let's talk about the Middlesbrough game as well this weekend in the FA Cup. I don't think this needs any introduction. The FA Cup third round. At this time of recording, 6,000 tickets sold at this moment in time. Amazing support, absolutely incredible, and the atmosphere on Saturday is going to be amazing. 12:15 kickoff as well, so just to make sure of that as well. So 12:15 kickoff as well this Saturday against Middlesbrough. So just make sure you go at the right time, because a lot of people might get mistaken for being a later kickoff. Like I say, I think this is a big chance for us to get through to the fourth round, because it's going to be a tough game. Middlesbrough are flying in the Championship since Chris Wilder's gone there, and they'll no doubt see this as a game where they can get through to the next round. But like I say, we've got this far. We beat 2 League One sides, and I know it's going to be a tougher test for us against Middlesbrough, but this is the FA Cup, and we've got the home advantage. We've got the crowd behind us, so anything can happen. And if we can turn up and if we can give it our all, and if we can play how we did against Doncaster and Sunderland, then we've got a chance, in my opinion. Anything can happen in the cup, and all we've got to do is give it our all, and that's all you can ask for us as a fan. As long as the players give 110% and run the socks off, then that's all we can ask for as fans. So like I say, we've got a massive chance this Saturday. But let us know your thoughts as well on the game against Middlesbrough this weekend. What's your thoughts on it? Do you think we've got a good chance of going through to the next round, or do you think it'll be too much for us this weekend? Let us know your thoughts in the comment section below. I mean, obviously, when you're playing against Championship opposition for a League Two side, obviously it's always going to be favoured for the Championship sides. But it's one of them. The FA Cup is one of them. I think the FA Cup over the years has lost its shine. Don't get me wrong, it has. But Middlesbrough, depending on what side they put out, they obviously want to be focused on getting in the Premiership. So depending on what side they put out, they might not take this game as seriously, and they might approach this game as though it were too easy. But again, this is what I mean. With us being the underdogs, we've got a big chance to cause an upset, to be honest. And there's no harm in being an underdog, really, because we're not expected to win this game. And that can really work out in our favour, because nobody expected us to beat Sunderland twice in a row. Nobody expected us to go to Doncaster and get a result there. So, who knows, to be honest with you. I mean, it's all right saying this now, but come on the day itself, Middlesbrough could put their first team out, and who knows. But, the point I'm getting at is, though, Middlesbrough might not, take this competition seriously. They might see this as a distraction to the league, and hopefully it does in our favour. But it's one of them. All we've got to do is make sure to get in their faces and really get at them straight away, and make sure they don't play their game and just get in their faces. That's what we've got to focus on doing. Try and stopping them playing and play our game, and just do the best we can. Because let's be honest, we've got nothing to lose. Not many people would have thought we'd have got to the third round, to be honest, and we have. So why not? Let's just give it a shot. When we've got a chance, we're in the game, we're in the third round for a reason. So let's just give it a best shot we've got. LN, odds of Middlesbrough playing their subs and reserves to rest main players. I wish I knew, mate. I think we all wish we knew that. See, with Middlesbrough, they've had a lot of COVID cases last week, so it all depends on who's available for them. Now, it's one of them. depending on how a lot of them players have recovered, it just depends really. Because the thing is as well, obviously with COVID being a constant pain for everybody, including football clubs, it depends on who's available ahead of the weekend. But this is a thing; it can go either way, can't it? They can either take this game seriously, and they could either view this as a game where they can get further themselves in the cup, or they could see it as a distraction, because a lot of big clubs do sometimes. They don't always see it as a they don't always take it seriously. So it can go either way, to be honest. So it just depends. But ultimately, you're not going to know until the game itself, the day on the game. So it's hard to say. But I would expect to see a couple of first team players there. I don't see them putting a complete reserve side there, to be honest, because Middlesbrough, similar to ourselves, they've done well since Chris Wilder's been there. He's come in there in a short space of time and he's done well there. And I think from a Middlesbrough point of view, I don't think they'll want to take it. I think they'll want to take it serious in a way, because they want to keep this momentum going. So all depends on who's available after their COVID cases, to be fair. But from our point of view, we've got a majority of players back from COVID as well. So we've got most of our main players back as well. So, we're going into it with near enough a fully fit squad, near enough. So all we can do is focus on ourselves. So we've just got to focus on our game and let them worry about us. Obviously we've got to acknowledge the fact they're a championship club. They've got obviously championship players, a manager that's obviously not long been in the Premiership, done well wherever he's been, in Chris Wilder. So we know we're going to be in for a test, and obviously they've sold out their allocation. So it's going to be an amazing atmosphere for both sides. But we've just got to focus on our game, let them worry about us, and let us just try and focus on our game and give it a roar, because no one's going to expect us to win the match. No one's going to expect us to get anything from the match, and a lot of people are probably going to bet on us to lose. But that can work in our favour, because like I say, being in the underdogs, it can work in your favour. So, but the one thing I hope we do is just get in their faces and not let them play their game, because if we do that, then it could be a long afternoon for us. So I'm hoping that's what we do. I'm hoping we don't show them too much respect, and I hope we can get in the faces and really, really give them a good go, because again, the format we've been in at the minute, let's just hope we can carry that on, regardless of the opposition. Let's just hope we can do that. Paul, is the game on iFollow, guys? I don't believe so, Paul. Don't quote me on that one, but I don't think it is. See, the reason why it's a 12:15 kickoff as well is because of overseas rights. Now, I don't know where in the world people are going to watch Mansfield overseas, but that's why they like to have the kickoff at 12:15. So it's a bizarre one, to be honest with you. But in regards to the iFollow, I don't think it is. I think it's just the commentary on that one, Paul. But I'd have to have a double check, but to my knowledge, I think it's just the commentary of the match from iFollow, and I'm sure somebody will be able to tell me in the chat, or I'll have to have a look, but to my knowledge, it's just the commentary. But I think another thing as well on Saturday as well, I think there might have been more tickets sold, but I think a lot of people have been a bit sceptical this Saturday because of COVID. Now, obviously, we've had our cases of the COVID in the past few weeks, but luckily from our point of view, we've had players come back. So I think a lot of people have been a bit sceptical on whether or not to go this weekend, including myself, purely because of if the game's going to be on or not. But at this moment in time, the game is on. So the game shouldn't be called off, because to my knowledge, both clubs' cases on is high now, so the game should be on this weekend. But if it's not, then I do hope there's going to be an announcement a couple of days prior to the game to say that if the game's on or not. But to my knowledge, the game's going to be going ahead, so hopefully it stays like that. Paul, thanks, Mark. Being away over Christmas, are tickets still available? No worries, Paul. To my knowledge, they are. Yeah, tickets are still available, guys. So, if you can, guys, try and get yourself a ticket. If you still want to go to the game, there's still a couple of thousand tickets left. So, if you still want to go to the game, either order online or if not that, get yourself to the ground if you can tomorrow or Friday. But yeah, like I say, we've sold over 6,000 tickets for the game this weekend. So there are still tickets available for the game. So if you can get yourself down to the ticket, guys, or order online, then try and do that if possible. The club actually put a statement out earlier on saying that they're going to be under reduced staff as well. So I'm guessing some of the staff members have obviously got COVID or illnesses, so there's not going to be many staff members at the club, so it might be a bit of a wait up at the ground, so just bear that in mind. Obviously, if they're in limited numbers, if there's not many people, staff members on because of that, then you might have to be a bit more patient, so just bear that in mind as well for tomorrow or Friday, because if they're going to be in reduced staff numbers, it's going to be a bit of a wait, so just try and bear that in mind. It's just the way it's been at the minute, isn't it, in the world, obviously with COVID. It's just disrupted a lot of things, and it's just been, as it's disrupted things for a lot of clubs, not just ourselves. I mean, we've got 3 games in hand because of it now, and it's going to be hectic, but it is what it is, isn't it? It's just how it is, and we've just got to carry on anyway. And I'm just hoping these postponements haven't derailed us like it did last season, due to the weather, and hopefully we can go into this weekend's game as well as in this season, picking up from where we left off, really, because we've seen this before with postponements. It can really derail the form of a team, and hopefully we don't let that happen to us again, because again, we've seen that before, so hopefully the players, as well as Nigel, can still get us to perform and get the results. But yeah, like I say, guys, really looking forward to this weekend's game against Middlesbrough. It's going to be an amazing atmosphere. FA Cup, anything can happen. The third round, yes, it's going to be a tough game and it's going to be a big ask. But if we can get in the faces of Middlesbrough, if we can try and stop them playing as much as possible, and just give it our all, and give it the best shot we've got, then who knows, anything can happen. But yeah, really looking forward to it this weekend. It's not the worst draw that we could have had. At least we're at home for one, and with the fans behind us, then like I say, we're looking forward to it and can't wait to get to the game. And for those of you that haven't got tickets, try and get your tickets as soon as possible, because no doubt the tickets will be selling rapidly like they have done. So try and get yourself on that as quickly as possible, because it's going to be manic until the lead up of the game. But yeah, thanks again, guys, for tuning into the podcast. Really appreciate your thoughts and comments and what have you. So hope everybody's had a great New Year and a great Christmas. And yeah, overall, I just hope we can just carry on the form that we've been in. And again, let's not get too carried away, of course. We've just got to take each game as it comes, and again, just carry on from what we've been doing. But yeah, thanks again, guys, for tuning into the podcast. As always, appreciate the support. And yeah, again, let's hope this year's a better year from our point of view. And again, there's so many more games to be played this season. And again, let's hope we can just make it a memorable one for us. And like I say, let's hope we can do that. Thanks, Mark. Good to see you again. Thanks again, Paul. Thanks again, everybody, for tuning into the podcast. Appreciate the support and the views and that. So thanks again. Hope you have a great evening, a really good week, and let's hope we can have a really great weekend talking about us getting through to the 4th round of the FA Cup. Thanks again, guys. Appreciate the support. Take care. All the best. Up the Stags.